I'm Barbara Coombs Lee. I'm president of Compassion and Choices. We're a national organization that works to improve end-of-life care and expand end-of-life choice. We dream of a time when all can live and die as free people in dignity and according to our own values and beliefs. Most Americans believe that a mentally competent, terminally ill person should be able to obtain medication from their own physician for peaceful dying. The Gallup organization has polled this question since 1947, and they have never found less than a solid majority in favor across all demographic groups. Like the bishops meeting here today, we oppose assisting suicides because suicide is a self-destructive impulse of a mentally ill person. Assisting a suicide is a felony in Oregon and Washington, and the Oregon legislature is expanding that felony to include mailing suicide kits into the state. A bright and wide line separates the crime of assisting a suicide from the medical practice of aid in dying. And to blur that line or to pretend that that line doesn't exist does a grave disservice to terminally ill patients and to a society struggling to perfect its end-of-life care. The Catholic Conference's political battle against medical practice of aid in dying has been vigorous, and it promotes the era of logic that lumps together the medical practice with the crime. Their position is not new, but we welcome, in fact, we are deeply grateful for today's clarity and affirmation that religious objection is the foundation of opposition to the medical practice of aid in dying. 14 years of practice and volumes of medical research and diligent oversight by the public health departments in Washington and Oregon have disproven every secular argument. No credible claim remains that aid in dying compromises end-of-life care. It promotes end-of-life care. No credible claim remains that it weakens hospice or threatens people with disabilities or discriminates against women or elders or vulnerable populations. We respect the role of the Conference of Bishops in affirming Catholic doctrine and guiding those of the Catholic faith. But we cannot accept that the teachings of one religious authority would overrule the most personal decisions of individuals of every faith, not in a religiously diverse society. The choice of how to address suffering in a terminal illness must be the province of dying individuals themselves, in consultation with their doctors, their loved ones, their clergy, and their conscience. Our government has no place policing religious doctrine at the bedside of dying Americans. The hierarchy of the Catholic Church uses its political and lobbying force across the nation to shape our law, limit patient choice, and impose its teachings on all Americans. This year, they led the campaign, an unsuccessful campaign, to overturn the Montana Supreme Court ruling affirming aid in dying. So make no mistake, the policy statements adopted here by the bishops have practical consequences for every American. Their teachings govern Catholic healthcare providers and restrict the choices of all patients, Catholic or non-Catholic, who purchase Catholic health plans or enter Catholic institutions. The conference makes special note of the words in the name of our organization, which reflect our values. So in closing, I'd like to set the record straight. The conference's statements say that our compassion focuses on eliminating patients, not suffering. No. Our compassion focuses on providing comfort and peace of mind to individuals who fear they will suffer unbearably in their dying. Comfort and peace of mind comes from obtaining or knowing that they could obtain medications to bring about a peaceful death. Patients need not ingest the medication to achieve this comfort. Every year, 1 in 6 Oregonians inquire about the Death with Dignity Act, but only 1 in 1,000 die under its provisions. Few use the law, many are comforted by it. The purpose of prescriptions written under the law is to provide comfort. The conference's statements also say that death with dignity laws restrict choice, and this claim defies logic. Simply adding a healthcare choice in no way pressures people to exercise that choice. People feel comforted, not pressured, and the safeguards in the law guarantee that it will remain this way. The right to make important life decisions is part of the liberty and dignity that follows us all our lives to our deaths. The government in a civilized society, one that protects religious freedom, owes its people no less than that liberty and that dignity. Thank you very much.